Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for a moment of silence. Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, May 19th, and time for the final episode of HHS In Depth of the year. I'm Madison McConaughey.
And I'm Austin Render. On today's show, you'll hear from Mr. Ginder in our annual end-of-the-year sit-down to get kids caught up on the last week of school.
We'll have a story over the new nationwide craze for fidget spinners and how they're affecting us here at Homestead each day.
You'll get to see behind the scenes of the HHS In Depth class and how one of these shows are made each week.
And we have a packed sports corner with stories over boys golf, boys lacrosse, as well as unified track.
And we'll have our weekend weather forecast with Garrett Willis and a tech talk teaching you how to properly turn in your laptop chargers next week.
So stay tuned for today's episode of HHS In Depth.
My camera on, I cut my fingers on the way. Oh yeah, yeah, and they're looking alright. Roll up, keep up, roll up, get up, roll it out, keep up, show me like it's home.
We begin today's show with our annual end-of-the-year sit-down with Principal Mr. Ginder. I recently caught up with him to discuss expectations for next year's final week and beyond graduation. As the year concludes, finals are once again upon us. Mr. Ginder encourages students to do well and offers some tips to all students preparing for their finals.
My encouragement to everybody is to study early and often and to chunk it into pieces. I think what you'd hear from our seniors in the senior experience is they've learned that cramming at the end isn't effective, but if you start to work through some things now, just 20 and 30 minutes a day, especially on those courses that are toughest for you, you're going to be successful. And then honestly, I would back away from it, and then at the end, give yourself another 20, 30-minute look over, but don't do it on the morning of the test. Give yourself some time the evening before and then sleep on it, and you'll be fine.
Mr. Ginder has some points of emphasis for the graduating senior class and all other students at Homestead.
The seniors I like to address at our Senior Activities Day, but I would tell you this, and this is for everybody in the building. Sometimes we put way too much emphasis on where I go to college or what I'm going to do immediately after high school. And I would tell you it's not a race, and there is no perfect place to land, and your plan doesn't have to be like mine. And it's all about writing a story. And this is just the end of the first chapter of a really cool story. And where you're going to be 20 and 30 and 50 years from now is going to be totally different than you are today. And I know it's hard to feel this way, but don't panic over this big change that's going to be graduation. It's going to be just fine.
Summer break is quickly approaching, but Mr. Ginder would like to remind students to observe all speed limits and driving laws in the parking lot in order to keep all students safe.
I'd encourage you also to take advantage of the half day that we have at the end of the year by being careful with it. We're one of the few schools in the state that does something creative with their half day. And we don't want to lose that option, and we don't want you to get hurt. And oftentimes our students leave the parking lot far too fast. Summer's not getting here quicker. It just began, but take your time when you leave because we don't want to lose you in any way.
Homestead can yet again look forward to a great school year filled with activities and hard work next year. For HHS In Depth, I'm Madison McConaughey.
Higher ed students, if you are taking higher ed courses at one of the college campuses during the second semester, please remember it is your responsibility to provide a copy of your college transcript to Mrs. Boniff in Student Services in order for that credit to be transferred onto your Homestead transcript and count towards graduation.
There is only one more yoga club session this year. Join them to reduce stress before finals in room 900 at 7:10 next Wednesday morning.
Lost and found items are located on the tables outside the discipline office in the 1012 building. Please see Mrs. Godfrey in discipline if you are missing jewelry, glasses, or anything more valuable. Any items not picked up today will be donated.
Anyone who had a free physical at FWO needs to turn in all the completed forms to the athletic office. Forms need to be checked by either Ms. Tansler or Mr. Updegrove for completeness before they are accepted. Remember, physicals for anyone participating in summer athletic activities need to have a completed physical, concussion, and random drug test form on file before May 31st in order to participate.
A few weeks ago, a new craze hit the nation, and it has trickled down to our school. Here's reporter Sydney Scholl with a story over fidget spinners and how they're affecting us here at Homestead.
You may have seen the growing popularity of fidget spinners around the school. They are used to keep students from tapping objects on their desks, but have turned into the next silly band phenomenon.
I don't really have a problem with it as long as it does not become a distraction to the class and to the student themselves.
First of all, I don't think it's a distraction at all because they're so consumed with it. But it really doesn't bother me as long as I can't hear it. But if I see it and it's spinning and spinning and spinning, I find myself looking at it.
I do not normally get salty unless they misuse it. Generally, I'm pretty lit, unless they drop it, making some sort of loaf move in my class. Typically, I'm pretty savage with those kind of things.
These toys may not seem like a big deal, but their presence could be affecting the teacher's ability to teach their classes.
As long as they have eye contact with me, I don't have a problem with it.
They can choose to use it in the right way and keep it in my class, or like other things, misuse it and lose it.
Some teachers see the benefit of the gadgets, but others simply see them as distractions that can negatively affect the education of students.
I think it should be up to the teacher's discretion. I think you have to look at it on a personal basis.
The administration can allow them as long as, once again, they're not a distraction to the students.
Homestead administration has no plans to ban the fidget spinners the next school year, but it is important to know that it is up to the teacher's discretion to allow them in their classes or not. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Sydney Scholl.
If you are graduating this year but do not plan on attending the graduation ceremony, please contact Mrs. Boniff as soon as possible in Student Services.
Spanish Club will meet for the final fiesta of the year from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Thursday, May 25th at the park located just west of Homestead next to the Aboit Fire Station. Please sign up under discussions on Spanish Club's campus page for what you will take to the fiesta.
Seniors, if you plan on having cap and gown portraits taken, please turn in your picture form and payments to Mrs. Redden by Friday, May 26th.
We thank you for letting us take 15 minutes out of your day each Friday. But if you ever wondered how one of our HHS In Depth shows are made, reporter Gabe Smith has you covered with this story.
HHS In Depth, Homestead's own video announcements, are watched by most students on Friday during their 5th period classes. But did you know that there's a real class that takes on the job of creating these videos every week?
It's more of a student-led class. We're in charge of picking up to 4 or 5 features that we hope to get on that week, and then throughout the course of the week, things happen, whatever, we'll narrow it down, but we have a list of about 4 features on every week the kids know about ahead of time.
Well, each week when producing a Sports Corner, I have to go out to each team's practice and talk to members of the team, coaching staff, get interviews with them. And then I come back here to the studio, I put together a feature about the team that I hope resembles them well and that they appreciate, and hopefully shines a light on the team and gets people out to their events, hopefully a little bit more than they had beforehand.
Over the past few years, HHS In Depth has improved greatly, but Mr. Schenkel doesn't like to take the credit for the changes.
Definitely the students have improved, but I think it's from them being younger and then moving through the program. They've learned from their peers, the ones with experience kind of set the tone, and as they've gotten older, things have gotten better every single year.
Being in this class for 3 years really helps you kind of get a basis. It gives you kind of a leadership role for the new students coming in because you already know how to do everything and set everything up. So it really helps you just kind of lead and also better yourself.
To the regular viewer, it might not seem like there was a huge amount of improvement this year, but the class is very happy with the way things are trending.
Really not much change this year other than we added a few segments, and obviously weather was added, first with Riley and then now with Garrett. We're always looking for new things that we can do and add, but I think more of an emphasis on making each segment better, from getting the shots, what we call B-roll, to having better interview angles and making sure our audio is all figured out. That's where we improved the most this year.
The 2016-2017 HHS In Depth year was the most successful one in its history, being crowned the best high school newscast in the nation by IBS in New York City last March. We here at HHS In Depth hope this trend continues and that all of you at Homestead enjoy the product we put out every week. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Gabe Smith.
And now here is a short video recognizing DECA state and national finalists.
In the final Tech Talk of the year, Bailey Lear teaches us how to properly wrap the laptop charger in anticipation of turning them in next week.
Hey guys, this is Bailey Lear here, bringing you the very last Tech Talk ever. We're joined with our friend here.
Hey, I'm Tobias.
That's Tobias. He's going to be showing you guys how you need to wrap your charging cord for the end of the year before you turn it in. So show him how you do it. You just want to unplug the cord from the brick, attach it to the other part so they are equal, and then just wrap it up in circles like our good friend Tobias is doing here. And then that Velcro part that you haven't touched all year because it's had no use, you're just going to unvelcro it and wrap it around so they all stay nice and together. And there you go. Tobias, thank you. And thank you, Homestead, for giving me this opportunity to be your tech man. This is Bailey Lear signing off for the last time. Love you, bye.
And now here's HHS In Depth weatherman Garrett Willis bringing you your weekend weather forecast.
He counted to infinity twice. He is the most interesting weatherman in the world.
I don't predict the weather very often, but when I do, it's probably wrong. Stay frosty, my friends. Hello, Homestead. I'm Garrett Willis, and it's with a heavy heart that I say it's time for your final weekend weather forecast. Our warm temperatures with a summer trend will continue today, as partly cloudy skies will accompany a high of 73 and a low of 52. Saturday will bring a picture-perfect day, as mostly sunny skies will come along with a high of 82 and a low of 65. And lastly, on Sunday, we will have an increased chance of thunderstorms, as some could be severe, as the high will approach 77 with a low of 56. Homestead, thank you for letting me be your weatherman for the second semester this year. It truly was a fun ride to bring you the news from the skies. I hope to see you all next year on HHS In Depth, as it was an honor to serve you as weather god. For the last time, that was your weekend weather forecast. I'm Garrett Willis. Enjoy your weekend and do well in finals, and enjoy your well-deserved summer break. Boom! Woo! Okay.
And now it's time for the final Sports Corner of the year, where you'll learn about our boys golf, boys lacrosse, and unified track and field teams.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Austin Render, and it's time for an extended Sports Corner, the final one of the school year. The golf team is our first featured team this week, right in the middle of a 3-day event with Carroll. The boys golf team has been up and down this season, but the momentum has been shifting as of late, with much success in recent 9-hole duel matches.
It's been an interesting season up to this point. I think a lot of us have still been trying to find our games where we're at this point in the season. Some of us have put together some good rounds for the 9-hole matches. 18-hole ones, we're still trying to figure out how we can put 4 scores together for those. But we're getting there. I think that if you give us another couple weeks by the time sectionals roll around, we'll definitely have our games where they need to be.
I think that we've had some successful moments on the season. We've had some individuals go low. I mean, Garrett with a 33 and Austin with a 35, and we've had Gabe with 35. We've had multiple guys under par. It's just been about getting the low scores together at the same time at the right time.
This week is the second annual Big Blue Cup, a 3-day event pitting Homestead against arch rival Carroll, mirroring the professional biannual Ryder Cup between the U.S. and Europe. After winning last season, Homestead expects nothing different this time around.
I think the Big Blue Cup's going to be a fantastic event. We were matched up really well with Carroll. It's going to be here at Chestnut for the first time at our home course, and I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a great event.
Oh, I love the Big Blue Cup. It was a lot of fun last year, and it's going to be even better being at Chestnut Hills this year on our home course. We need 10 points to retain. Hopefully we can do even better than that. It's going to be a lot of fun watching some good golf out here.
I'm pretty excited. We're going to show Carroll what's up, and we're just going to, manage our way around the golf course.
The past 3 seasons, Homestead has made the trip to Prairie View Golf Course for the state tournament. This season, the goal is similar. For a team that is rich with seniors, return to Carmel for one more chance at the state championship.
I want to be able to retain my individual sectional title from last year. I want all of us to be able to take home those 2 titles that we can take home with the regional and the sectional title before we get to state. And obviously, being able to improve at state this year, I very much consider the season a success.
The Big Blue Cup continues with alternate shot tonight at 5 and singles tomorrow at 2, both at Chestnut Hills. Sectionals is also at Chestnut Hills on June 2nd. The golf team is the final pair to attempt the Team 8 game, hoping to tie girls basketball and volleyball with a perfect 6 for 6. Welcome into another edition of the Team 8 game. I've got the seniors of the boys golf team, Matthew Hope and Ellis Yoder, here with me. And guys, first question, what is Ellis's favorite soda pop? Flip 'em. Root beer and root beer. All right, 1 for 1. Now, what is Matthew's favorite soda flavor? All right, flip them. Coca-Cola and root beer. All right, 1 for 2. All right, next question. Let's do Ellis's favorite movie. All right, flip them. The Empire Strikes Back and The Empire Strikes Back. All right, 2 for 3. Now, what is Matthew's favorite movie? All right, flip them. Good Will Hunting and Good Will Hunting. All right, 3 for 4. Who is Ellis's favorite golfer? All right, flip them. Ernie Els and Ernie Els. All right, 4 for 5. Who is Matthew's favorite golfer? All right, flip them. Phil Mickelson and Steve Stricker. All right, 4 for 6 for the boys golf team. Let's go back to the studio. Congratulations to the girls basketball team members Taryn Klein and Madison Parker, as well as the volleyball pair of Maddie Hirschberger and Hannah Matthew, who each scored a perfect 6 for 6 and are this year's Team 8 game champions. Next up on this week's Sports Corner is a story on the boys lacrosse team. Here's reporter Jake Davis with the story.
Having reported on the girls team last week, I caught up with members of the Homestead boys lacrosse team this week in that same vein of taking a deeper look into the club sports at Homestead. The boys are finishing up a season in which lofty goals met reality, providing the team some perspective and experience.
Season's gone pretty average so far. We are about 500 this year. We lost some key games and lost them we should have won, but other than that, it's been a decent season. We're just trying not to get crushed in the last couple games of the season and just come out with a win and not look like a total joke.
With their confidence lying in their defensive abilities, the team devoted its focus to improving the offensive aspects of their game. The boys have found this tactic fruitful as they now carry more peace of mind into high-scoring games than they could in past years.
Mostly, I guess, working on offense. Our defensive side is doing pretty well. We really need to start scoring more and focusing on getting the younger players better for next year and the years after that, just to make the program go better.
We haven't had a lot of numbers this year. We have a really good team and a lot of talent. So just really building on that talent and having a strong offense, having a strong defense, and just really bringing it all together.
As lacrosse is not a fully sanctioned IHSAA sport, members express what it means to them to be able to represent their school in athletic competition despite their club status.
Yeah, I really think it's cool to be able to wear Homestead on my chest. I mean, we're still part of the school in a sense because we get to wear Homestead on our school and have the Spartan on our helmet and stuff, but we also are a club sport.
It's cool to play a club sport that's not actually tied to Homestead, but still wear Homestead on my chest or at my school.
After another season on the turf, the boys found themselves once again a big fish in Fort Wayne's small pond. With more regional experience, the team's focus continues to shift to bigger, state-level goals. With a strong foundation of underclassmen, Homestead's boys lacrosse team is optimistic to marry this year's city championship winning experience with a young crop of talent to reach new heights and set higher expectations. For HHS In Depth, I'm Jacob Davis.
And finally, we send it to reporter Michaela Godfrey, who gives us a story on the Unified Track team in their second season at Homestead.
Unified Track is a team made up of Homestead athletes and students with intellectual disabilities that compete athletically in track and field events and have fun along the way.
Doing the relay. I like doing the shot put. I like throwing it as fast as I can.
My favorite part about track is working together with the others, and also I actually like to be here too.
I like doing shot put and throwing the ball as fast as I can.
These athletes enjoy challenging themselves outside of school hours and making new friends.
Because I get to run faster and get more practice.
That I get to hang out with my friends and do the events that I don't really get to do it often anymore.
Probably last year at sectionals when we all did our team huddle at the very end. It was just really fun to see all the kids do all the races and go as hard as they could.
They have learned a lot from their time on the team and are excited to see improvements in their upcoming sectional meet.
I've learned how to be more patient and willing to work with different types of people and also just to enjoy myself, whatever I'm doing. I think we're pretty strong. We've got a really good relay and some good throwers and jumpers, and I think they'll all do super well, so I'm really excited.
Unified Track has sectionals this Saturday at Central Noble. Come out to support your fellow Spartans as they compete for the sectional title. For HHS In Depth, I'm Michaela Godfrey.
Thanks to everyone who has made this Sports Corner a great success over the last 2 years, especially the athletes and coaches who make my job possible. That'll do it for this edition of the Sports Corner. Good luck to all athletes competing in the coming weeks. Reporting for the Sports Corner, I'm Austin Render. Have a great summer break, Spartans.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Madison McConaughey.
And I'm Austin Render. Thank you for watching today.
And now here are this week's Pictures of the Week. Congratulations to sophomore Kyle Todash and freshman Josh Nichevsky for having theirs selected today.
Thank you to all those who submitted photos this year for Picture of the Week, and look for similar things next year on HHS In Depth.
Today we leave you with our annual blooper reel.
And for more bloopers, check out our video on YouTube.
Have a great weekend and enjoy your last week of school next week. Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, August. I need to start over. I made a funny face during one of those, but that'll be covered by B-roll, right? Cool, cool, cool.
I'm totally gonna do that at the end.
Please don't.
I'm gonna whip my tie off.
Okay, don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna do that either because there's a mic on it.
We begin today's show with a I don't know what that was. Okay. Shut up, Austin. Guess who asked you, Austin? Guess. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you. There was no question. It was just I was stating something, so.
My hair's fine right now. Right now, look. Seriously, I don't want it to be pushed back or look Amish.
No, it's...
So I'm gonna be like, hello. I wonder if that part was recorded. Hello. If you have ever wanted any interest, ever had any interest, where did I say wanted?
And now here's a story from a reporter. There will be a brief boys basketball meeting.
Today's show, we bring you a new teacher spotlight with this week, Mrs. Ham on her new business venture.
And now here's this,
Most places you can turn your phones off. We can't.
Gonna mention.
Dance marathon.
Okay.
The first question is.
Throw me my water.
Do you want to comment on your tan?
Why? Does somebody want to comment on it?
Does it go out tan?
Is it recording?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me look good, right?
Don't know how to walk through the halls. So, I forgot what I was gonna say. Now you all have no excuse for being stupid. Can I say being stupid?
Week back from spring break. Reporter Madison McConaughey. No, I said McConaughey. Hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis. Okay. It's not too late to finally learn how to spell hematopoiesis.
Get!
To get a first-hand.
I understand. You'll cut the. Okay, that does not go into outtakes.
You guys are never gonna get back to class.
Yeah, Mr. Schenkel's okay.
Have a great weekend, and don't forget to come out to the homecoming game tonight. And yeah, I need to start over.
Homecoming. Homecoming.
Applications for the very competitive and prejudice.
That's going in the bloopers.
We'll meet next Thursday, October 6th. Well, that's a wrap. My baby.
Our boys cross country team is profiled.
We'll have all the... Sorry.
Come on, people. Oh, I don't care. Stupid people everywhere. Don't drop those again. I'll come over there and drop you. This is great, okay. Oh my God. I hate my life, it's so bad. Oh my God. And now here is let me start that again.
I told you earlier about the acoustic, well, they didn't say, I've always thought it was acoustic. Okay, well it's not, I know. Wait, it's acoustic?
Caught up with some of the team's members to see how this year's season went this year.
I'm sorry, okay?
What item would you knock off your bucket list if you had some?
Hey Homestead, Bailey Lee here for another edition of the Tech Talk. This week we're gonna, you're too slow! Lee here for another edition of the Tech Talk. Sabri!
Hello, Homestead. Okay, I gotta prepare myself for this. Hello, Homestead. I'm Austin Reindeer back with okay.
Hey, look at that. It's sports, it's shooting, and looting. Yeah. And why it's very important.
Now here's the new HHS In Depth Weatherman. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit much here. Okay, I'll try to get it. And now here is the...
I'm gonna do it all in one go. Watch it, for one take, Colin. Any student